Okay, so there was some very interesting stuff to this chapter, but I gotta say without a shadow of a doubt, one of the things that struck a really strong chord with me regarding My Hero Academia chapter 247, I believe, is the conversation that Todoroki had with Endeavor, his father. Don't get me wrong, there was some other good stuff that was said and we got a little more insight into the other characters, but man, when that family drama kicks in My Hero Academia, it gets real and it gets intense. Let's talk about it. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. So this chapter, My Hero Academia, another setup chapter, but some of the things about this chapter were very strong. Because for starters, we get a little bit more insight into, okay, what are the exact short-term goals at the very least that Deku, Todoroki, and Bakugo have and are trying to achieve with Endeavor here as, like, you know, being an understudy to what he's doing and trying to, I guess, understand themselves. So it starts off Deku. Immediately he's breaking down what he's trying to do, and to be honest with you, it seems as though Deku is such an over-analyzer. He kind of reminds me of me, to be honest with you. Like me, I think of every last detail, everything to try and better myself, which that's a good trait, honestly. And you could see that it was very, very interesting because Endeavor, he's not the muscle head that people would like to believe that he is. Like, just go back a chapter or two ago when, you know, he's breaking down and trying to understand exactly what it was that Hawks was trying to relay the message. He figured it out fairly quickly that, oh, okay, bam, he wants me to, you know, look at this book and the second word and everything. So Endeavor is pretty slick and pretty smart on the intake regarding, you know, what people are saying or what message, or just in general analyzing somebody sometimes better than they can themselves. Like, while everybody was lost at Deku's long explanation, which for a moment there I was like, whoa, Horikoshi, you've been reading a little Hunter x Hunter, huh? A lot of text. Not that I'm complaining, but it was just a little abnormal for My Hero Academia to have like two giant massive bubbles of text when Deku was breaking down what his goals are for, you know, working with Endeavor for this internship, so to speak. And Endeavor, he was like, oh, okay, I get it. He broke it down very simple while everyone else is lost. And it seems as though Deku, for the most part, his new quirk, which it's crazy that he has to be very delicate with what he says, because at first he's like, well, I got a secondary, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously he has to try his best to keep the secret of One for All as close to him as possible. He can't just be like, well, you see, I got a couple more quirks coming in here, mate. So Deku basically, you know, he breaks it down to a very scientific fact of, hey, you know, this new quirk, or this quirk that I'm refining, the whip, I need 20%, and right now I can only use 15. So basically he's trying to refine his output in order to be able to not master, because again, Deku's probably a long ways off from mastering, but at the very least be able to use this quirk in a modest and moderate fashion, because at the end of the day, we seen last time what Deku tried to do with his quirk, and we got Bloop. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Bloop is what we're working with right now, we're in trouble. Then on the flip side of it, you got a cocky dude like Bakugo, because I'm not gonna lie, well, before we jump into Bakugo, quickly just to wrap up the Deku thing, it was interesting the line that Endeavor said, which is why I feel as though Endeavor is just really a lot smarter than people will give him credit for, because he's like, oh, so you're one of us, when he's referring to Deku, and that kind of made Deku blush a little bit, like, oh, is it a good thing, a bad thing? Just in general, for anybody that wants to be like, you know, the #1 heroes, or, you know, the top heroes, or just in general people that you look up to, for them to give some type of comparison to themselves with you, it's gonna make you feel a little bit good. So when he said that, a couple of things went to my mind. It was like, okay, I truly believe what he was mainly referring to is you have a difficult quirk and it's hard to master, similar to us, because I could imagine Endeavor, when he was first trying to learn his powers, like, yo, you're setting yourself on fire, you're on it, and fire all over your body. That might be difficult to master, just like, you know how Deku, he breaks his arms and his body up using his quirk. He's like, you're one of us, which again, he's probably referring to the fact that he has a difficult quirk, similar to like a Meteor, which to this day, like in the beginning when we heard about Meteor's quirk, well, he don't got it now, but I always thought, like, at first, before we got the full explanation, like, oh, this is a very good quirk. Then once you realize that he's basically not able to hear, or you know, he can't even breathe when he's using that technique, it's like, that's a difficult quirk. Deku's quirk, difficult to use. And I think the same thing can be said probably with Endeavor and a lot of other top heroes. But getting back to Bakugo, Bakugo's like, I'm awesome, okay? Like, let me tell you, like, in other words, he's like, I'm awesome. I don't need you to tell me what I need to do. I need you to tell me what I can't do because I'm so damn awesome. I'm like, fam, relax. I think right there, that's one of the things is you need to learn to be more modest. You need to learn to put your ego in check a little bit. I think right then and there, he demonstrated what he can't do, what he shouldn't do. Like, you shouldn't be that way for starters, because you check yourself, you check your mental, and then everything else will come into play. So when Bakugo is just there yammering away like, oh yes, you know, this and that, whatever, I'm like, fam, this is one of the things that you need to change. These are the things that you can't and shouldn't do. And I mean, at the end of the day, there's only so much that he's going to, like, a lot of this is going to have to be self-discovery if you think about it, because especially towards the end of what Endeavor says, it's going to be the task that he's going to put forth for them, because you can see obviously now he's taking this very serious. Ever since he got the message from Hawks of what is coming in 4 months, he is taking this serious. So I think this is going to be a self-discovery thing while they're on their missions and whatnot of, okay, I gotta figure this out. I gotta better myself, because if not, like, you know, if Endeavor is like, I'm going to watch you guys, right? I'm going to basically supervise your stuff. But at the same time, he's not going to be like, hey, Bakugo, you need to do this way. Hey, Deku, you need to do things that way. This is up for them to learn the lesson. They'll just see another one hero in action at the same time. So if Endeavor's jumping into a battle, Endeavor's jumping into a fight, they got to recognize, like, well, he did it this way and he did it that way. Let me try doing it this way or that way. Or, you know, a word of encouragement or something that will be said will be able to lend a helping hand to teaching Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki about how to better themselves, and for Bakugo to essentially understand, like, okay, this is how I can manipulate my power to be able to just be a better hero and overall strive towards even further becoming a great hero. But out of the 3 conversations, hands down, the one that touched me the most and really had me like, wow, this is powerful, was Todoroki's. Because again, even though this was a setup chapter, it was really freaking good. Like, there was some chapters that were like, you know, whatevs, okay, we're setting things up. But when Todoroki broke it down and he started going back to the foundation of how it all began, of like, you know, I used to do things on spite just because I didn't want to be anything like you. And when he even started it off, it was like, ouch, you know, he says, yeah, you beat it into me. I understand my flash power. You beat it into me since I was little. And it's crazy because you can see that, and I hope the fandom isn't responsible in a way for not manipulating, but just pushing Horikoshi towards making Todoroki this way, because it seemed as though up until this point, to a certain degree, Todoroki was embracing his father and kind of just slowly but surely not gonna immediately forgive him, not immediately gonna be like, oh, Dad, I love you so much, especially the fact that Endeavor's still, he's not a warm guy, you know, well, he's a temperature wise, literally he's a warm guy, but you know, he's not somebody that is just like you want to open up to, because he still comes across as an asshole. He's an adult Bakugo basically. But it definitely just, it seems as though this one, he pumped the brakes completely and put Endeavor in his place and set boundaries of like, yo, you try to talk to me like I'm like, you know, father and son relationship. I'm doing this basically, I am using you to get what I need to get to where I'm trying to go. Don't talk to me like a father. I'm just here to grab what I need to grab. And I bet anything, I mean, just from the little dialogue and you know, seeing Endeavor thinking, whatever, that probably burned, because Endeavor is undergoing a change. You know, we've seen it throughout the last couple arcs. He's trying to be a better person. He's trying to be better for his family. He's trying to be a better hero. He's trying, just in general, he's a man on a road of redemption. And I remember that there was death threats and everything coming in for Endeavor, or because of Endeavor to Horikoshi, and you know, the fandom was just going wild and stuff like that. And I'm hoping that that didn't influence Horikoshi to be like, well, I'm gonna make Todoroki still tell him no. You know what I'm saying? Still tell him, no, I don't care, whatever it is that you think you're doing. I'm just here to get what I need to get and learn what I need to learn, because you are powerful. But at the end of the day, when he said, I admire the hero that I saw on TV, so don't act like my dad, it was very powerful. It was setting a fine line between Todoroki and Endeavor's relationship and where things are at right now. There's still a long road ahead in order for them to bond and truly become like, you know, father and son and have that real relationship. But I wouldn't be surprised, depending on how far My Hero Academia goes. We do know that last week's chapter, one of the things that was proclaimed was Shigaraki said our next fight is going to be our last. So if the My Hero Academia manga is ending, a lot of people are like, no, that doesn't mean nothing or whatever. But if it is ending, it'll probably just be the academia portion, or this semester, this, you know, grade. They'll go to the next one, then there'll be class 2A or something like that, and it'll continue. Because being honest with you, I think it would be tragic, but I also think it would be incredible and a great character developing moment for Todoroki if, just as he's about to accept his father or getting close to it, Endeavor bites the big one in this massive war that's coming with Gigantomachia, Shigaraki, and this whole new league, alliance, liberation, imperial, like, yeah, that group or whatever. I think that would be very significant to Todoroki's character, the fact that he still is not over by any means what Endeavor said and did back in the days and how he raised him. So I think that would be a great moment, and I'm not sure if it's going to come. If it did, it would probably be in the near future, in the 4-month time skip, or what, I don't know if they're gonna skip 4 months, but once the 4 months is up and whatnot, I think that would be a great defining moment for their relationship. And if there's a part 2 to My Hero Academia, that would change Todoroki dramatically. The fact that he finally was about to be cool with his Pops, and then bam, Pops dies. And the end of the chapter, Endeavor was like, alright, so mission is, you gotta try and stop it before I can, even if it's just once, even, you know what I'm saying? That right there, very, very hard task. Endeavor is no pushover, but I think the circumstances are going to align themselves in order for the 3 of them, because at the end of the day, it's 3 of them. All 3 of them are exceptional. Deku has damn near 7 quirks, 2 that he's, able to control, 1 that he's working on really right now. Bakugo, incredibly powerful, very smart. He's just too cocky. And Todoroki's like the medium between the 2. He's like a little cocky to a small degree, very, very strong, but also has his shortcomings and has his, issues that kind of hold him back. While Deku's just like, on the other side of the spectrum, very nervous and, just he's getting there in his confidence, but he's still on the other side, and Bakugo's on the other side. It's like 2 extremes and then Todoroki in the middle. So overall, really dope chapter. I really like that back and forth between Todoroki and Endeavor. I think that that's going to be very pivotal moving forward. I just hope again that it wasn't the fandom that pushed Horikoshi to make Todoroki make this proclamation and say, no, we are not gonna do this right now, fam. Kind of curious what you guys thought about this chapter for starters. Were you a little taken back by the Hunter dialogue? No, it was cool, but like, it was like, damn, Deku, like, you giving us a play-by-play breakdown of your your problem that you're going through right now. Also, what do you think Endeavor meant by, oh, so you're one of us? Do you think he meant that, like, oh, you have a very complex quirk and it's hard for you to control? What do you think about Bakugo? Again, like, Bakugo is like, yeah, you just need to learn to chill a little bit, relax. And how did you feel about Todoroki's conversation with Endeavor regarding setting that fine line of, I need this power up, I need to learn, but you ain't my father. Like, nah, we're not doing this. And your overall thoughts and expectations for the future of My Hero Academia with chapter 248 and beyond. This arc is, the build-up is crazy, the suspense is getting me nuts, but I could see that this is going to be awesome. This kind of reminds me a little bit, it's giving me a feel of, and I don't know why, maybe it's just me, the final test for like Class 1A and all the people at UA where All Might went up against Deku and Bakugo. This kind of reminds me of that, because essentially they're going up against Endeavor, but it's just to see who can stop a villain faster. But that's all I have for this one though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in. Enjoy the next ride, but I was the best ride. But I hope you know